Welcome to Mental Millennials with your host, Shelby Friesen.
Yeah, so today I've got Barnaby Alkier. We only met last week and we dove in and talked about some stuff, and I was super interested to hear more. You've got a super, I would say, exciting and super exciting life, and I'm really stoked to dive in and hear more about that. And we seemed like even last week we talked for 2 hours and still seemed like we barely touched the surface of everything that you've experienced. So we decided we're going to take it back and probably do a few episodes. And today we're going to start with the childhood and kind of growing up. You said you had kind of grown up in a religious family, but then realized it was more of a cult and things like that. So that's what we're going to dive into today.
So you just said the C word, which is equal to cunt. So a lot of people who know me have already been triggered because I've already wrote about the cult, and they hate it, dude. They hate my fucking spleen. They don't like that spleen. Cornerstone Cult Center, shout out, where grace is a word. That's the cult. Delonzo runs that fucking shit. So I'll explain more later. But I'm totally gonna get so much flack for this. So you don't even know, man.
Well, I'm excited you're willing to do it.
Well, Shelby, I'm trying to have people hate me, but it just never fucking works.
Doesn't matter. You can't get them to.
It's not my choice, right?
No.
Oh, man. Oh, speaking of green drinks, I had the best shit last night, followed by dysentery. So to help me understand that,
I don't know.
My microbiomes, I don't know. The vagus nerve, I just don't get it. I'm trying to heal myself really fast because I got this prolixin in me, man. Like, yeah. Anyway. Dude, it's just horrible. I fucking hate you, Dr. Lightning. I hope you watch this, and you know who you are.
You can send it to him.
I will, man. Well, I'll get a USB and I'll take this video and I just throw it over to the mental hospital and say, for Dr. Lightning. Fuck you. I fucking hate him. I really do. I could go like hours just saying the same thing.
Well, do you want to dive into the childhood?
Yeah, absolutely. Can we start with the potbelly stove?
The what?
The potbelly stove.
Sure. I don't know what it is, but let's hear about it.
It's a furnace that some houses used to have. Extremely dangerous, but if you're a master wielder of the flames, you can acquire one. You got to respect the flames, people. Yeah. So if we could start there, and then I could backtrack and then move forward, and
let's do that.
Okay. So the potbelly stove. This is where the pornographic magazine was burnt right in front of me when I was 5 years old, and probably the most horrific, traumatic thing that I experienced because at 4 years old, Carbone Elementary, their staff were concerned about me because I was delayed in speech. And so, of course, you think autism, you think all these things. But the problem is that when I was born, I had a funky anatomy. So I couldn't hear, I couldn't speak, and I couldn't see. If you look at my glasses, you just can tell how blind I am.
Oh, yeah, those look strong.
Yeah, I just got contacts for $1 on Facebook last night, so I'm fucking stoked. But anyway, so at 4 years old, the administration, the school administration notified my parents saying he has a phonological disorder. And so meaning that I was unable to process information correctly to speak well. So I was a massively mumbler. I was it was like and it took 6 years to reorient it and reprogram my brain with a speech therapist. And her, I'm not gonna use profanity. I love her. Her name is Mrs. Ladano, and Mrs. Ladano is an angel sent by God to give me the gift of speaking. And it's ironic because I had massive issues with hearing and then speaking and then seeing, and then I ended up in fucking sales. So I just I fucking hated it. I don't like salespeople. I don't like it. It's just like one big manipulation machine. Anyway, so for 5 years old, my mom took the magazine, threw it in the fire, and said, "Hey, don't ever touch this, and don't ever." She threw it in the fire, man. And, like, reprimanded me like a dog, like Peppermint and Tawny. I was like, come on, guys. I'm not a dog. I'm a human being. But no, she did that. And the way it happened is that my horny brother, Samuel Alkier, decided to leave a fucking pornographic magazine in our bathroom under towels. And
terrible hiding spots.
I know. I mean, it's convenient, which is he was thinking ahead for himself, but that was selfish. You don't hide pornographic in an open area, which, I mean, I guess he was trying to, like, well, it is in an open area, so what are the chances? What are the chances of him? Me finding it and then getting reprimanded for your stupid shit at 5 years old that fucking, messed me up for my entire life. So, yeah, so I was crying. I couldn't understand what was going on. I just saw boobies and pussy and people peeing on each other, and I was like, wow, this is fascinating, And I was like super curious. Yeah. And it sucked too because I had my best friend and my eternal partner, Kirsten Masiello, who was my 109 Laurel Street neighbor, and her, we're kids, we were, I was like, can I see your stuff? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, I can show you my stuff with, like, my dinosaur underwear,
Yeah.
And so, eventually we got called out by her mother, but her mother was a very graceful woman and totally was like, they're just being kids, we just gotta love compassion. And my mom had no compassion growing up. So shout out to Maria Barrero. I'm sorry, not sorry. Really, she fucked me up hard when I was 5 years old. So that event was seared into my mind. And then secretly by 8, like 6, 7, I was a master, computer nut. And I nutted all the time, hiding my stuff. And it was horrible, but no one suspected because they're like, it's Barnaby. He's so innocent. I'm like, no, I'm not. This is where Lucifer came into my soul, and so it's been a long time buddy with him. So, yeah, I just converted him, but but now he's like my bitch. So
that's better.
Yeah, it's now day is night, night is day, up is down, and down is up. Freemason, I guess, stuff. Which, by the way, I'm told that I'm let it be known to be a Freemason. So hopefully someone will hear this and be like, "Holy shit, we got a legit one! We got a legit one," and then I'll get initiated. Hopefully, because there's a ring in our family. There was a Master Mason, my great grandfather, and I vowed to authentically become a Freemason somehow. So he's got a ring. Robert Guarneri, shout out to you. I love you, man. My dad's best friend. He has the ring. So I'm ready. If you think I'm ready, guys, Freemasons. I love you. I love you guys. Okay. So you talk about like trauma. Let's talk about trauma because 2018 I read two books called Scared Sick and Healing Developmental Trauma. And it's within these two books that I had full context of my life that I had no idea about. And so basically when you allow a child to cry on his own and think that will cure him and he'll eventually stop, that's probably the most abusive thing you can ever do to a child.
Mm.
And thankfully my mom, and I had to give my mom credit, you know, as much as I hate her, I had to give her credit because uh she held me to her breast. She breastfeeded me. She had a lot of compassion when I was 1 and 2 years old, which is like the most formative years. You know, you can really make or break a human being um, during that time.
Mm.
If you don't, what I learned is if you don't do that in the first 2 years, they're gonna turn into a sociopath. And sociopaths are cool people. You know, I got plenty of sociopaths and narcissists and Machiavellians that I hang and roll with. I respect them. They're fucking crazy. I mean, they devour me all the time. They love me. I mean, as an empath. uh, but like, I'll give you an example. The Unabomber. The Unabomber is the guy that took the bombs and then had, you know, like published his manifesto and the news and stuff like. Do you recall that?
I think so, yeah.
All right, cool. So the Unabomber, unfortunately, was sick as a baby, and he was left in the hospital because back in the day they were very careless in their practices. But they just let the baby cry and cry and cry. Then and the mother couldn't uh, be with the Unabomber because he was sick, and so he eventually stopped crying. But he was like the massively at 13. He was at Harvard, like, and I'm facts, guys, for you fact nuts. All right, calm down. All right, I might get this wrong. All right, like we're just listen to the story.
Story's what matters.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking facts are stupid. Um, and yeah, so the Unabomber though, unfortunately, was neglected tremendously, and you know he turned out to be a murderer. So that's not healthy. My mom, thankfully, did not. She didn't raise Barabbas, if you know what I'm talking about, right? I mean, like she raised Barnaby, and but she had some issues too because she thought that I was the Holy Spirit. And I got the letter and everything, and it's weird, dude. It's fucking weird. Like when I talk about cults and stuff like that, I'm like, I've embedded myself into this shit, and I was like, holy shit. But you know what I want to do now?
What?
I want to copulate with cats, and I just, you know, like, I just want to have fun. That's all I want to do. Like, I just want to have a lot of sex. I'm still a virgin, bro. Like 20, like clear, like never had my dick sucked, never did, you know, nothing. I, and I just discovered lotion or like, you know, shampoo. I never thought to make the connection to, you know, milk the worm with, you know, lotion.
Yeah.
It's been a horrible life. It's strictly like fishy and clammy.
Oh man.
So it's fucking trying. It's a porno, you know, in the pot belly stove. So I just but anyway, so where do we go from here? All right. Dude, like, so I was traumatized, and you know, recently on Facebook I have had a lot of people who are concerned, which is stupid because I'm a grown man. And they weren't concerned when I went off the grid for 4 years, but whatever. Uh, you know, like they're concerned because I was saying I hate pornography, I will not watch it. blah 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 blah. And I kept doing, like, my OCD kept doing the repetitiveness,
Hmm.
which there are 5 things that I have. It's bipolar, it's OCD, multiple personality disorder, which is unfortunate. And that's a class B personality type, by the way, which is, if you know anything about class B personality type, you don't want to talk to those people. Um,
So,
hence, I don't know why you're talking to me. Uh, let's see. Fucking PTSD, which just is a mind fuck. And then I have a learning disability with dyslexia, so I see everything backwards and all that stuff. And apparently that's like a concoction for godlike supernatural powers and a genius type Nikola Tesla shit. So
if you're going to use it in that way.
yeah. I've already figured out the universe. I mean, it's the answer is 43. That's a reference to the book Across the Universe. I think. Anyway, fact checkers, fuck you. So where do we go from here, man?
I don't, because I don't know. I mean, where did you go after the younger ages there, like 6, 7? Like, what was your childhood like? Like, you had a brother, you grew up, and like, you were saying you grew up Christian, and then you started to realize
No, it's
something weird was going
cult,
on, or
cultshin. It's called cultshin. It's not Christian. It's cultshin. Trigger alert! Trigger alert! Yeah. So I mean, dude. So my mind was activated at a very young age. A lot of people now have told me in his prior working experiences that I was self-aware, and I was like, "Fucking self-aware? What does that mean?" And a person who's self-aware would ask the question, what does that mean? Right? I mean, like,
yeah,
that
yeah.
is the epitome of self-awareness, is fucking asking all these fucking questions. So I just want to stop asking questions. I just want to fuck cats, not bitches, because they give me stitches. Trigger alert! Trigger alert! Oh man. So but what happened from there? I mean, like, my childhood best friends were Stephen Pope and Sal Salemi. I love those guys. My first grade teacher was Mrs. Schrader, and Lauren. I love your mom. I just hate your mom because she stayed me back. I had Mrs. Policio as a first grade teacher again, and I love that woman because she was my uh, pre-K teacher. She was there was Mrs. K, who I had the hots for at like 4 years old, and then there was Mrs. Policio. Dude, I was a horny motherfucker, man. Like, you ever seen the movie Benjamin Button?
I don't know if I actually have. I know what
All
it is
right.
though.
Well, when we like see each other in person in the future, we'll watch it together.
Okay.
Okay. Um, but anyway, Benjamin Button, basically that movie is my life because I was born old and grew young. And, I basically took the notion that women were wine. The older, the better. And I had that at 4 years old. So I was like, holy shit, look at these women teaching me, things that I can't even fucking understand because I had a phonological disorder and a freaking ear dysfunction. The amount of fucking surgeries I had on my ears, man, were incredible. I mean, you talk about trauma there, where we got, like, let's see if I have anything to demonstrate. We got like this going in your ear all the fucking time when you're a fucking kid and trying to clear out the wax and put in T-tubes. Oh my gosh, Shelby. Like, I have had I mean, I'm embedded into the fucking medical system, man. Like, if there's a whole case history from my childhood till now. And yeah, man, like these fucking doctors poked and prodded. They're like, oh, we're just gonna take this T-tube and we're gonna insert it right here, and so that's gonna drain the fluid that's going on in your mind. And I still fucking have them. They should have dropped out, Shelby, but no, they're embedded in there, man. I have this really crazy sensitivity. So I honestly think I'm a government's, fucking guinea pig. Like our family secretly was like, let's make a weapon, and and so they made me, and it's disgusting. I fucking hate all of you. But yeah, we talk about trauma, dude. I have been traumatized like what is it, a tuning fork? Like you take that tuning fork and you just bam, and it goes that's I'm the fucking fork, and these guys are taking the fucking thing and like you know
Yeah,
it's
it's
and
just
so
constant.
dude, and then the fucking bullying, man. I got bullied when I was 8 years old in third grade. Fuck you, Augie, Massimo. I fucking hate you guys. Mrs. Carafano, she could go to a dark place. I'm not gonna say hell. I don't know where that is, but she could go to a dark place. She would do it. She would take desks and flip them over and be like, "You fucking bastard and bitch! Like, how could you? This is Tony. This is on you. This is disgusting." Like, she flipped the fucking desk and was like, "Clean it up." I'm telling you, dude. Like, that woman was fucking scary. She's very, very disturbed. But of course, in the '90s, you could do anything, right? I mean.
Hmm.
And she fucking hated the fact that she had to wear a mic every day to her job because I couldn't hear. Like so the school was like, okay, Barnaby, he's very special, but he's not autistic, but he's special. And because so I guess I stayed back in first grade. Second grade, I got homeschooled by my mom. That was a nightmare. She had no idea what she was doing. She's like, here's these packets with words and colors. Figure it out. And I'm like, what don't you understand about your son who can't speak and can't see and can't hear? Like, I don't understand. But the struggle was fucking real. And she's making her little Goya and rice and beans. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I had the paperwork still in my trunk. And I look at it and I was like, oh, now I get it. Like
20
fucking
years later.
years later, dude. It's like, yeah. Oh my gosh. And then my dad, he's just a madman, like just in his computer room. And, I think he was, spanking the monkey because his wife was fucking crazy. And he was a nut, man. I mean, super. I love my father. I love my father. I want it for the record. My father is not Alfred D. Watts. It's Glenn Alkier with two N's. Just for the record, Shelby.
Okay.
Because anybody who's gonna know me, they're gonna, oh no, he's fucking losing his mind. He's so hate me, people. Hate me, please. So it's so fucking vindictive. It's not even funny, and I'm working on that because that's not healthy.
As long as you're
But
aware,
yeah. Of course, it's gonna take time, But let's see. So my dad, he's always in his computer room, and he was building computers. He was a master carpenter at high school, and he has straight A's. And some would say he might be a time lord, but what do I know, right? And this guy, he was, yeah, I love him, man. He just gave me he's like, here, Barnaby, here's a computer. I'm like, Dad, did you not know that I just looked at porn and I'm probably going to look at porn on this computer? And he's like, take it. I
How
said,
old were you then?
oh man, like he would make stuff for me, like I don't know, like I was 8.
Okay, yeah, so still young.
Yeah, man. I mean, but like we had Super NES, Lemmings, like throwback games. And I had to call out my brother right here, Caleb Alkier. I just want to say I really do hate you because you told me to buy Super Mario Kart when I really wanted fucking Mario RPG. And like we went to Toys R Us and we had the cartridges and all the stuff, and like he's like, no, you should really buy fucking Super Mario Kart. I was like, okay. And no, I wanted Super Mario RPG. I just, I finally got an emulator on one of my computers and got this shit. But he just misled me, and I really hate him for that. He doesn't know that at all. That's like a mind fuck for him, which hopefully he can take it. I mean, I think he's a pussy, but that's all. I really hate my family, Shelby. You don't understand. Like they fucking bullied me. Like and Sam, I'm so thankful that I peed all over you on the top bunk. I just like I gave him a yellow shower one night.
By accident?
Yeah, of course, dude. I had no function of my body, man. Like the world was fucking confusing. And I was just scared. I mean, dude, I was seeing angels and demons, and I mean, dude, I was seeing all sorts of things that people weren't shadows, and I had premonition and insert healing developmental trauma. So this book, Shelby, is super fascinating because when you traumatize a human being so much when at a child, you actually are giving them a gift and a curse, because they will manifest different survival types. And one of the survival types that I manifested was premonition.
What's premonition?
You know what prophecy is? So premonition is like seeing the future before it happened.
Okay, yeah.
So I actually knew my nephew was going to be born before he was before anyone talked about it, because I have this fucking weird ability of reading the temperature of the room and then getting all the information and making snap judgments with my gut.
Mm-hmm.
So if all systems go, if I'm off lithium and I'm off lithium and this fucking Dr. Lightning Prolix and shit, then I probably would, I don't know what would happen. I think I probably disappear. I probably would teleport away, and disappear because of how fast my mind processes things.
Mm-hmm.
So and honestly, I think that if that were to happen, if I were to get off all the medicine that I'm on, I probably get assassinated. I mean, somebody, the cops would be like, "Holy shit!" and I'd be like, "Pew pew 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 pew," like Deadpool, and they're just like, "Okay, we got the Red Ranger now," and so dude, our Shelby, like when you unlock your entire brain, dude, weird shit happens. You start thinking you're Lucifer,
Mm-hmm.
So the angel of light, which I'm not the angel of light, I'm the angel of darkness. I just want to preface that, and I just put the parentheses out there. So we got that. But yeah, Caleb, whatever. He's my best friend, but he's the fifth. I'm the sixth. So there is 6 of us, my friend.
Holy.
I know. I'm the last child. The first one is Samuel Alkier. Then there's Rachel Maria Tessier now, but formerly known as Rachel Maria Alkier. Then there's Sarah Alkier. Nope, sorry. There's Christiana Alkier, who is named after Pilgrim's Progress, apparently. And then my dad named her. So my dad didn't name. I don't think my dad had any. My mom was very selfish when she came to names.
Mhm.
She thought, you know, like God was talking to her, which possibly is the case. You know, truth is stranger than fiction.
Mhm.
She said she had a vision of me one day washing dishes that she was going to have a sixth child. So, Shelby, I hate to break it to you, but I've been sent by God. So, uh, but yeah, it's a mind fuck, dude. It really is a fucking mind fuck. Mental millennials. Like, so then there's Christiana. So Sarah Alkier, she's the fourth child. Then there's Caleb Alkier, he's the fifth, and then there's um, the sixth, which is me.
Mhm.
And if they kept going, probably the ninth child and the sixth child would be best eternal friends. You know, 69, buddy.
Oh.
Oh man, I really want to trigger so many fucking people. You don't even know, man. Like, you have no idea how many people I want to trigger right now. I've suffered 14 mental hospitals, so I'm verified a lunatic. You know,
Mhm.
and I just want to establish my lunacy with you, if that's okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. Um, so yeah, so that's the six that I'm the six. And when I was 8 years old, man, like, yeah, like my dad gave me a computer and I started like hacking it. I hacked the PlayStation Portable at like 13. That was freaking awesome. Um, I'm a naturally gifted hacker, but I've forsaken my ways because it's not ethical.
Mhm.
Sorry, guys. The hacker community is like, no, oh, we just lost one.
Yeah.
I've been many names and many domains. Let's just say that, and I was very young.
Mhm.
But so like at third grade, man, that's when I wanted to kill myself. I remember, and this is what I learned from lithium. No, it's mood swings. I read this book a couple years ago, and you know, in the book they talk about hidden suicides. So check this out. This is actually fascinating, and I think there has to be a huge alert when we talk about suicides, because it's not like, let me take a gun and just, you boom 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 boom. No, 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 no. If you're very sophisticated and you're self-aware and you want to lead this life, you're gonna do it in such a way where it looks like uh, an accident, but in reality, um, it is. It's a suicide. It's a
Mhm.
hidden suicide. And I'll give you an example. So in 2018, I was going to kill myself. And how was I going to do this? I was going to take my Crown whiskey. I was going to take my kayak, and I was going to go on the Brantford River, down the whiskey, throw that motherfucker with rocks, you know, in it. So the evidence wouldn't be, or like wear gloves. I don't
Mhm.
know. You're like very sophisticated, right? But down it and then like do the kayak and then you know, tip it, because
Mhm.
I don't know how to swim. And if I'm intoxicated and not knowing how to swim, more than likely I would die.
Mhm.
And people would be like, "Oh, look at that body over there! Like, oh my gosh, she was a kayaker. He's, you know, somehow died. You know,
Mhm.
I guess the life vest malfunction. You know,
Mhm.
the life vest does a malfunction. You don't just go click, click, click. You know, like it does. I mean, it's come on, guys. But I was gonna do that in 2018, and then that would be that's the example for hidden suicide.
Mhm.
Um, so when I was 8 years old, I was going to snap my neck by falling down the stairs. And that was my, again, way out. I couldn't, I fucking hated school. I fucking hated Carbone. The only saving grace about Carbone was Mrs. Ladano. I mean, she was such a freaking darling, because she had said to me one day, putting in her contacts, she's like, "I'm not putting in my eyes, okay?" I was like, "What? Let me see that again." That's so, But she literally was the guardian of my soul. And for 6 years, 7 years, I basically was tutored by her one-on-one every single day, or like 3 times a week. And I was taken away because I couldn't hear, and she told me how to freaking speak this horrific language we call English. I fucking hate English, bro. Like it's I if I had the choice of, like, if you know how, like, in the game you have all these preferences to like manipulate your character,
Mhm.
and if there was an option for tongue you want to speak, I probably wouldn't choose anything, because I want to, dude, like, I'm a nonverbal human being. Like, I watch what you say. Let's just say that.
Mhm.
And I don't I hear things, but it doesn't compute. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
actually I really hate conversations with people. Like, I love our conversation.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but like with people who try to like use their skullduggery, master manipulation word, all this stuff. I mean, dude, I've been around the block with sales, and it's so fucking disgusting how mind fucking you could be with words and stuff like that. Like, I'll give you an example. I'll be Pacific with this. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Pacific is a fucking ocean. Oh my gosh, let me be Pacific. No, that doesn't make sense, Shelby.
No.
I know, dude. I know. So, at 8 years old, I was bullied a lot. If I can go into like all the servers out there, and then like all the tapes of everyone who possess the well-known dinosaur Barney, I would I would just burn it. I would light it on fire and watch it, and then probably piss on it, just for being poetic. I fucking hate the fucking nickname Barney. It's like, I love you, you love me. I mean, like, people were like, Barney, 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 Barney. Oh my gosh, man, what a fucking trigger. Every day, school, Barney, Barney, Barney. It's like, shut the fuck up. Leave me alone. Let me just go hack some computers and stuff like that. I was so tormented as a child, and I think even like my siblings, they were they they were fucking demons, So, but yeah, man, like my brother Caleb and Mark McCurley, fuck you guys, because I I I had I had mouth issues. My tonsils were inflamed. So they were like, well, send him back to the hospital. We got to fix this fucking kid again with his fucking ears and nose and fucking eyes and mouth. So I had my tonsils taken out. I think like maybe like 6, 7 years old. But I had my tonsils taken out, dude. And the fucking incompetent doctor that worked on my fucking oral passageway, my orifice, dude, this guy, he took a clip and just stuck it on my fucking tongue. My tongue was swollen for like 2.5 weeks. And all I could do, Shelby, was fuck, you can't hear, I can't see, and now like that, And then my fucking brother and his best friend, Mark and Curly, was like, like, dude, they just like fucking, oh my gosh, man, it was horrible. Like, and with that incident, there was a traumatic event where the scab, it didn't heal right, and so I couldn't breathe well, and so that scab peeled off,
Hmm.
and I was bleeding out my mouth. So I'm like 6, 7 years old in the bathtub, bleeding out from my mouth. And
Jesus.
my dad is just holding me, and my family's like, "What's wrong with Barnaby?" Ah! It's like with blood everywhere. It was a bloodbath, literally. And thankfully that episode has gone away. But man, like, childhood fucking sucked. And you know what? Adulthood fucking sucks too. Oh my god, bitches are so sensitive, man. Like, I'm like the one person, the one man out there that bitches could be, with me, and they're like, no, they like punch me in my gut, my proverbial emotional gut, and like, I had 2 girls recently get mad at me, and I'm like, I don't fucking know you. What? Why are you getting mad at me, dude? Joey, it was, and I was like, is this Lucifer? Is he fucking messing with me? Like, oh man. And so, then so that was childhood. But let's reference, if
Oh
you don't
yeah,
mind,
yeah. Let's do that.
to keep so a look at Barnaby Alkier's life. I got some pictures if that's cool to share.
Oh yeah.
So this is Taylor. She asked me out to the prom, and I was like, holy shit, who's doing that? But yeah. And then this is when I was in the cult posse, Path of Success Students for Excellence by Delonzo Watts. That was fun and scary. And then this is,
So it wasn't a church.
oh no, on paper it's a church, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, of course. And then it's America. We could do anything. So you could be like Cornerstone Christian Center,
Hmm.
and it's like, oh yeah, that's a church. No, let's rephrase that. Cornerstone Cult Center. Let's worship Delonzo. All right, cool. So trigger alert. For I had a lady. She wrote me a novel on Facebook, and I think it was his sister, and I was like, I feel bad for you. So
Like
no comment.
when did you start like
Realizing
or like going to that? Like was it like an after school thing?
I was born into it. I was born into this. I was so Shelby. When I was a kid, my mom and dad had a competition with their. They would drag race on the highway. Seriously, like my dad would be like, "All right, Christiana, Sarah, and Sam, I want you with me. Barnaby, Caleb, and Rachel, you go with your mom." And then they would like race home to 20 minutes away, a half an hour away, because we lived in East Haven. And we went to the Cornerstone Christian Center in Milford. And so, one day they made the mistake, and they're like, okay, Maria, you get Barnaby and I'll meet you home. Okay. And, I'm a kid, I'm a baby. I'm a fucking baby. And this, I think, happened twice, dude. I was left in that church, man. After hours, with the cross beaming, blue cross beaming in the distance. And like, how fucking, poetic do you want to make this? I mean, dude, my mom had the vision, and then Barnaby, he's left at the church, as a child. And like, you can't make this shit up, man.
Hmm.
So she left me there twice in her absent-mindedness, which I do love my mom, and like, for the record, but I also hate her, and those things can both exist,
Hmm.
So and she's been forgiven a long time ago, so I have nothing against her. But let's see. Yeah, so but dude, we devoted our lives to Cornerstone. My dad was the board of trustee, and my mom was the percussion woman. She sang, she got her tambourine out.
Yeah.
And like when you ask like how often did you go to Cornerstone, like we ate, lived Cornerstone. I mean, we were there Mondays for choir rehearsal, Tuesdays we had a break, Wednesdays we had prayer services, Thursdays we had a break because Thursday nights were Boy Scouts, which I just want to say, Dad, I'm sorry for being manipulated by Delonzo. I should have finished Boy Scouts and been an Eagle, but I got snatched away by a very nefarious person named Delonzo. So, and his real name is Alfred Delonzo Watts. So he could go fuck himself, and I'm a grown man. I don't have to fucking forgive him. But I do forgive him. I just don't forgive him. You know, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
okay, great. I just want to check all the marks for Christianity right now. So yeah, we initially we gave our lives to Cornerstone. We did. We devoted. I mean, we were there all the time. My first girlfriend was Brittany Rogers, who I really wish, honestly. No, I can't say that. I think it was Melissa Hernandez. So I think when I was in 4th grade, I met Melissa, or like through her sister and my sister, and I fucking love that woman. And it's sad that we like didn't work out, you know, like, and I honestly believe like kids are highly attuned, and like you don't start dating when you're an adult. You start dating when you're a kid, you know, like you find your companion at a very young age. So that's my theory. You could disagree, but yeah, so Melissa Hernandez, I fucking loved her, and I would go on 37.com, which was my first email, and that was like 8-9 years old, and you know, my mom was like, okay, now you can have a email address, and I was like, yay. and and so, you know, I talked to her. I would send these like love letters, but like these innocent stuff, and honestly, I think a lot of women out there, and this is what is this called, egotistical, uh but I think a lot of bitches out there love me, man, and I just couldn't understand them, you know. I was like, but I don't understand, like I was right here for you, like what? And they're like, dick, Barnaby, give me the dick. I'm like, whoa, that's aggressive. Like, so, and my mom, you know, she's like, you never touch a pussy, because she burnt the fucking pornographic images, you know. And then, you know, so basically when I was like 8-9 years old, I was going on search engines, and at that time, kids, we had Dis and like AOL and all that stuff, and we would wait patiently to access information on what is now known the cloud or the internet. But you know, like I would secretly like be no. What happened again was I found a pornographic site uh, by typing in Zelda. And these kinky bitches out there, you know, they're like, yeah, you know, Fred, we're gonna make a website called Zelda. You know, we're gonna have porn on it, so like little kids can access this kinky shit. And so I was in my mother's computer room, and I was like, oh, not again. Oh my God. Now, but like, I was so innocent, man. I was like, holy shit, I've wronged. Like, I just innocently looked at the wrong thing. So I walked away, and I got into my room, and then she found out, and I started instantly crying, like, I didn't mean to. I didn't fucking mean to. Again, it's not my fault. I didn't mean to look at the fucking porn. I don't want to look at this shit. I want to, you know, but no, I got tortured. So, hence me being a virgin at 29 years old. Like, I have severe anxiety with even, you know, a woman's breasts being on my chest at this point. Because in the indoctrination of Delonzo, you would need a Bible between you and the other opposite sex. God forbid that you start getting attracted to get, you know, God forbid. I mean,
So like if
That's
you were walking around and you were at that place, you had to hold a Bible between you and another person.
it's an exaggeration, but we can go with that. Yeah.
I'm just picturing people holding them between each other.
Yeah, not like with the flat, because that's too much to like nipple to nipple contact. You
Hmm.
have to like it basically you have to take the Bible like this, and then just like, oh, okay, may grace be with you, you know. So, and which by the way, Shelby, that's not Christianity. It's the cult, right? So
Hmm.
like I want to like preface all this as a child, like this is all cult activity. um, Now, Pastor Alice did start Cornerstone back in like the 60s and 70s, and I respect him. Never met him. I knew his wife, but he started something big, and he was, from what I understand, the most genuine guy out there as an overseer of people's souls. What happened was in 97, 98, we had an African American man named Alfred Delonzo Watts, uh, who was highly educated, had homosexual tendencies and stuff like that, but um, and recently admitted that too. But it took him like in his 50s to share that, which I
Hmm.
was just like, dude, nothing's new in the sun, bro. Like if you have thoughts about dick, this stuff, like just talk about it, man. You don't have to be ashamed. And but 98 though, he was ashamed, and he had his butt buddies and fantasies and stuff like that. So he decided though he wanted to change the youth, and so he covertly, got into Cornerstone. And Cornerstone was actually going to shut down, but he rebooted it, and converted mini Alfreds, and mini Alfreds are hellacious. Uh, they're scary people. Um, I personally think he's a sociopath, but what do I know? I'm just a fucking crazy Lucifer, you know, person. And by the way, like I studied a deep dive into like the dark triad and stuff like that, and I did get some information that most pastors, like church pastors,
Hmm.
especially like the ones who do the church plants and stuff like that, who are like super sloppy in their zealotry and all that stuff, but uh, they actually reside in the class B personality type, which is
Mm.
sociopathy or anti-personality disorder. Like the CEOs, like those people are leading churches, which shouldn't happen, Shelby. Like you don't want that person. You want compassion. You don't want shame and guilt, man. You want compassion, man.
Hmm.
So that's another insert there, which of the things that I figured out, right, and that took a lot of time to figure out. Um, and so with that being said, with the cult, it turned into like started turning into Cornerstone started turning into a cult um, when Alfred came, and that was in '98. So prior to that, the 8 years prior, I don't know,
Hmm.
and my siblings can speak to that more if they want to. But all I know is that when Alfred came, he converted the church from a Christian institution to a cult institution, and he's a lawyer. So again, like if a congregation is like, okay, we need another pastor, our church is failing right now. Where do we look? Who do we want to hire? Don't hire the fucking lawyers. That's stupid. I mean, like, why would you? Like, they're trained in neurolinguistic programming. I mean, like, they will manipulate and mind fuck you in every which way, both
Hmm.
verbally or like orally, and then to like the on paper, like they'll destroy you.
Hmm.
Um, and so but the I mean, like the whole thing was, I mean, uh, it was great. I mean, we had community, we had peace, we had we had all this stuff. I mean, I was doing plays. So it's actually funny. Like there was this one play that I was a time uh, master, meaning that my role was, keeping track of the time of of my characters on the stage. Because I mean, dude, we were doing plays galore,
Mm-hmm.
like children's plays and stuff like that. I was an elephant with Elias Casher, and he was a fucking giraffe, and I couldn't like I don't know what happened with the paper mache, but my ears are irritating me, and but the show must go on, and we perform, and I was the best fucking elephant out there, but so that happened, and then what is it, Alfred? Oh yeah, like just in general, like that, like Cornerstone didn't turn into a cult until that person arrived, and that's when like a lot of hell broke loose, because the church was going to shut down because the other pastor, he was moving away, and so they even asked my dad, who is like not qualified at all.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, Glenn, we got a position for you if you want to accept it. And he said, hell no, and walked away. I mean, my dad, I love my dad because he doesn't talk. Like, he just acts, And he's very perceptive too, and he taught me how to be perceptive. But the thing that I didn't learn was how to control my mouth, because the fucking like formative years of my life, I couldn't go boo 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 boobies, like I couldn't talk. So like when I learned how to talk, it was like, and then my dad was like, shut up, Barnaby, you're oversharing, just stop talking. I'm like, I can't, Dad, I just learned how to talk, I know how to put words together, And so there's been this love-hate relationship between my dad and I, but he did make me a fucking treehouse, guys, my siblings. So who's the favorite of them all? Barnaby Alkier. Like, oh man, I was so sick as a child, like so physically sick and mentally sick. I mean, oh man, like it was, I say it's horrible, but I think that's the beauty of life, is that in the midst of the suffering, there's such like pressurizing effects to crystallize your character and who you are as a person, and it is vastly necessary. Like if we lived in a world that was without suffering, I'd probably be hell on earth, uh, in my opinion, because nothing's perfect,
No.
And you had to learn these lessons. So, yeah, I mean, we got that. But yeah, Cornerstone played a heavy role, and this is where I learned how to sing. I was in the choir. I was doing these plays. And the thing that I wanted to talk about with this character, this time, person. There's this one line, is time is of the essence, and I had to like memorize and get that down. Like, time is of the essence. Time is of the essence, guys. Time's of but like I had a business suit on, and it psychologically like weirdly programmed me, because my biggest pet peeve is like time. Like if the best time is 15 minutes early, or like like I just got like this really like you were late, you told me like you told me you told me 5 o'clock, and then I would fuck myself, be like, you know what, I'm gonna be running on Puerto Rican time, I'm gonna I'm gonna run on island time, I'm not gonna be with a stick up my butt, like so I started fucking with myself recently about like making people wait. It's actually fascinating. But back to my childhood, man, and we are to a strong tangent. But yeah,
It's
no,
okay.
like yeah. But what's really what's really important is that and I'm really glad that you're emphasizing the cult aspect, because this is my warning for people, is like, look, you can practice your religion, your faith, you can be spiritual, I don't fucking care. What I care about is that you be safe around different types of communities, and it doesn't have to be Christian. There are many different cults out there. There's fucking business, dude. So, it's just like, just be careful and know your shit, and like ask questions, and don't blindly follow people with their fucking pipes, and they're like beep, 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 and then being the fucking piper, like, oh man, oh, this is such good worship. Oh, look at this meditation, this vibe thing. It's so weird, man. But I wrote a piece here about childhood friends reflection. And I actually want to like read these people, because hopefully they'll listen to this podcast one day and know that they made an impact on me, when I was a child. So, is that cool?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. So, in this epic binder that I made when I was in high school for humanities, I have childhood friends: Salvatore Salemi, Eric Nurnberg, Mike Perino, Stephen Pope, Christopher Downey, Dan Cuoca, Max, Kristen Masiello, Eddie Reed, Rosemary Reed, Mike McCurley, Mark McCurley, Mary Beth McCurley, Elias Castro, Raymond Rosa, Gabriel, Rebecca Castro, Stephen, Anna, Eleni, Nick McKnight, Kylie Bias. And I mean, these are like my pack, man. These are my people. I fucking love these people dearly. I love their parents. They really helped me out because I had a neglectful, dysfunctional home, which is appropriate when you have 6 fucking kids. Like, how do you, like, I want to just say this: how could have my dad and my mom known better to in raising us? They couldn't have. They did the most exceptional job ever. So I'm not gonna hold it against them that I have all these fucking dysfunctions and stuff like that. It does. I like that doesn't make sense. But here we got childhood friends reflection. And so I wrote, most of my childhood friends that I grew up with, I've had lost contact with either because I moved away or just stopped seeing them. The people today that I'm still in contact with are Sal Salemi, Kirsten Masiello, Rosemary Reed, Eric Nurnberg, Mark McCurley, only because of Facebook. Even then, I hardly talk to them. There's only one person I grew up with since kindergarten till 12th grade, and that's Kylie Bias. Her and I are really good friends, and I would have gone college with her if I decided to stay in Connecticut. Kylie has been in my plant science class for most of my high school career. I hope that she has a successful life and she has changed a lot for the better. She has changed a lot for the better. I'm proud of all the things she has done in her life and that she's moving on to college. As for everyone else, they have either moved away from me or me from them. Some have dropped out of school, others are involved with drugs, and some are still living with their parents. It was fun growing up with them, but I'm not interested in meeting up with them. So, isn't that sad? That's the effect of the fucking cult. And how masterfully manipulated I was. Because in a cult, you're told your family are the people at the center, Cornerstone Christian Center, but you're not family with anyone else. You can't participate in other people's lives and live life with them and be encouraging to them because your real family is the cult.
Okay.
So that actually was a fantastic transition of a mental snapshot of when I was 17 and I wrote that project. Because I took that Kool-Aid and I was like, I will be like Alfred D. Watts. I will be like Alfred D. Watts. And like this guy fucking raped my mind. And you don't have to touch somebody to rape them. By the way, this is 2020. Anything's possible. We have like 67 genders. All right, so
yeah.
Come on, let's think about it. So he mind fucked me hard, bro. Like super hard. And yeah, man,
So like what did you like I mean, how did you start noticing it? Like what kind of things were happening where you're like, okay, this is like not right?
Um,
Like there's probably tons of shit, but
no, so like, the one thing, well, okay, so I
just
never, well, I'm sorry, what was that?
I'm just trying to picture like you were going there for a long time and then like like you must have like I don't know or were you always skeptical of it or were you like you felt at home and felt a part of it then all of a sudden one day it like clicked or it was gradual or then you were or maybe it was after the experience you noticed I don't know.
Yeah, so that's a great question, and I thank you for asking that. So because I was deaf, dumb, and blind, and I saw no evil, I heard no evil, and I spoke no evil as a child,
Mhm.
um, and I was delayed severely. I mean, I went to bed till like I was 10 years old. Like
Mhm.
I mean, like I was severely behind, and only because of my anatomy, not because of my fucking brain at all. Which it just like pisses me off. Like he's autistic, not autistic, and I respect those people. I do. I love those people. And at the same time, there's contextual, right? So going back to psychology, there's categorical and there's contextual ways of diagnosing somebody. And what pissed me off is when I got diagnosed with bipolar, I wasn't in the contextual department. I was in the uh, what is it? The fucking uh, categorical system, which
Mhm.
pisses me off because it's like, for the record, Shelby, I'm not bipolar. Um, I'm not, but I got misdiagnosed and now I'm on this, all this medicine that's fucking me up. So I have to take it now. I'm depending on
Mhm.
the fucking medicine. How fucked up is that? It's like, um, you're not anything but yourself. It's like it's like the what is it? The cart and the horse. Cart was for like the cart. Don't put the cart before the horse.
Mhm.
Like yeah, I mean that's basically what happened. So, um, but I saw shit and I knew shit. Like I fucking hated Alfred when I first met him. I didn't like the direction where he was going, and I had some weird like I knew, man. And like when I was 17 and came back from when I was 16 and I came back from Mexico, you know what happened? I fucking cried for days, man. I was a water park on my face. Like the amount of crying I did because I empathically uh, uh, felt the sufferings of the people in Mexico, at that time.
Mhm.
And same thing with Haiti in 2008. And I think about it, and I fucking hated Alfred when I was young, but I played the game. The problem is that what I do is I'm a master chameleon, and like Shelby, you and I, or everybody out there is a chameleon. We should be mimicking each other and building on each other, and this method of yes and, but it's like uh for me, I play a lot of games and I had a lot of practice with my siblings. I pushed the fucking buttons like nobody's business. I mean, I was that guy who I know how to fuck with people hard. And
Mhm.
that was a gift that I've been given from God when I was a kid. Um, and so with this guy, Alfred, I hated him, but I played the part because I wanted to fuck with him because I knew what he was doing was wrong and I saw it clearly. And, but I was like, turning myself in, like, I went undercover basically,
Mhm.
and now I'm like resurfacing, like, just like the fire and the like the judgment has now begun, and
Mhm.
I hope people from Cornerstone, they listen to this and say, holy shit, we got to go away. I hope Cornerstone after this podcast series um, shuts down. It's
Mhm.
the most disgusting place ever, and what the factory of many Alfred shitheads that come out of there. And dude, we got stories, man. We got like a lot of theories to discuss. But so I actually hated, the one thing about Alfred that I didn't like. So I got kicked out of school and banned from Liberty University out in Virginia, which is a ultra conservative Christian university. I was referred to by Kiba Watts, Alfred's wife, and I honestly I should have like listened to my teachers at school and not this cult, but I held them so highly, man, because everything was falling apart when I was 17. There was a foreclosed house situation. My dad was finally fucking, through with my mom after 29 years of marriage, and for good reason. My mom was super destructive, and she doesn't know how to listen well or hear well, and she's not humble at all as a woman. And, or as a person. And I'm not saying like, I have a tendency of being a misogynist. I don't know if you know this, but I really do hate women. Um, and I'm recovering. I don't want to, but that's the true nature right now, and it's going to take time, because I'm associating a lot of things that are not there, projecting that I'm not there. So, but I knew that this was shit. The day that I got kicked out and banned in 2011, and I came back to Cornerstone, and I cried on the chest of Alfred with his like designer suit, and all I wanted was someone to advocate for me, to justify me, because what Liberty did was tremendously horrible. Dude, I never got in trouble once. And then I had this mental break because my dad was transitioning into his new lifestyle and stuff like that. And I didn't know, like, Alfred condemned divorce. So my dad basically, was like outed as a nefarious individual because he divorced his wife, and he got he got the lighter fluid, and he got gaslighted with all this character defamation. And my dad, he's a classy guy, so he doesn't give a fuck about anyone. And I really, honestly, every time I think about my dad, I think, all right, I want to mimic my dad. I don't want to mimic Alfred. I don't want to mimic people, like who are so-called my new family, Like, I got my fucking family, man. I know who I am, and we roll deep, bro. We roll deep. So, so with Alfred though, I cried, and I was a huge crier. I'm still a crier now, like just like the wall. I mean, like not like I'm like that's like how I cry, man. When all things are aligned, and so with Alfred though, I'm like, how can you have somebody here with such distraught and such like a person who is suffering and hurt and not help him? He was a fucking lawyer. I wanted to take, use him and be like, all right, let's get Liberty, let's get back at them, And then my dad was like, don't worry about it. Don't pursue them. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? And then like I held it against Alfred, and I was like, dude, you should have been that guy who was like, hey, I don't understand that my graduate and alumni, Posse alumni, Barnaby, this stand-up character, he suffered. Like, I wish he just advocated for me. That's the problem. Like, I never had anybody advocating for me, because the problem is that everyone thought I was this godly man, when in reality I was just jerking off to porn the entire time. And the like the as a teenager, the problem is when I was 16, no, 13, bro, I confessed as a child that I was looking at porn to one of the college and career guys, which is like a subdivision of the cult. And so he should have the responsibility to be like, hey, Glenn, Maria, your son is jerking off to material that is not allowed at that age. It's illegal. It's illegal when children look at porn. Like there's a disclaimer that's out there that says you cannot enter this website unless you're 18 plus years old, you know? And I hope they could do like a facial recognition at that point, like with devices. It'd be like, okay, you're a child. Nope, sorry. Like some algorithm, because you know kids should not be looking at porn. That's a fact. You fact fucking checkers. You know, it is so depleting, and it messes up your prostate, your hormones, all that stuff. And I admitted it to I even admitted it in this strange fucking story to Kirk Cameron from Growing Pains. I met him at church, and he's like, okay, man, well, here's a website you could go to. How old are you? And he never fucking asked the question of how old I was. I was not 18. I was, you know, it's illegal. It's illegal. That's just my, like, thing. Like, it's fucking illegal. You know, you got all these grown-ass adults, you know, being like, shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. You know, like, ooh, you know, okay, we won't expose it. You have to fucking expose it. Why do you like you know, punish the child? Because you don't want them to do it again, you know? Yeah. And I'm over here like, I don't understand. I'm just like, I can't get enough, guys. And they're like, shh. And I was basically being my own parent. I mean, I installed my own web blockers. I did everything, dude. And like the kind of man that I am is super obsessive and compulsive, and that's the attribute since I've had since a child. So, you know, like but fucking porn was a fucking amazing experience, especially like Girls Gone Wild, like mom and dad are not home, you know, like what's on TV tonight? Holy shit, yes, college girls, you know, I can't wait for college, and then I had to go to fucking Liberty University, man. God, I messed up, man. It was like. Liberty, you know, they're super conservative. They don't have sex parties and all that stuff. So, I man, I can't wait for people to listen to this. So, so anyway, man, like, yeah, I mean, I confessed to Alfred, Akiba. Alfred had the audacity to be like, well, you can have my wife's email, and just every time you go on a website, it'd be super shit. Like, fuck you, dude. You have a responsibility as a pastor to report things like that. Yo, there's been molestation in that church. Fucking sick stuff. Like, you know, Shelby, it was a cult. It wasn't a church, right? I mean, like, it was the most toxic place that any family could have gone to. So, you know, it's sad, and it's sad because then I get the burden and the blame for knowing better. And how could I have known better when I was exposed to pornography at 5 years old? You know, like, that's everything that I've been indoctrinated in, you know? And I mean, dude, I was going to kill myself because of pornography, because of how my mom reprimanded me. If my mom just hugged me and just said, yes, I love you, you're going to be the great man who's going to take care of his children, and like just something in a way where, or she cried and I would feel that. But no, she had to do the capital punishment and like treat me like a fucking dog, you know? My whole life, man, that's when I got disassociated, you know? I was like, oh, okay, initiate different personalities, you know? Like, but yeah, no, I knew bullshit. I saw the bullshit for the longest time, but I couldn't do anything because I was viewed as a child. So, you know, and it's sad too, because you know, you look at me and people can see me, they probably would guess like, you know, I'm like in my early 20s and stuff like that, like a young guy, you know, but I'm fucking 29 years old. I mean, I'm turning 30 in December. Like, I'm a fucking old dude, and you know, like, and I, you know, is people still fucking, you know, treat me like I'm a kid, and it's the most dehumanizing. Like, I'm just like, you know, I just walk away. You know, I just do that Irish goodbye, just like, all right, fuck you. Like, I'm just gonna go drink my whiskey and cry my childhood nightmares away. You know. but yeah, dude, like, but yeah, I just hate the fact that at 17, I was like, I never want to see them again. To all my childhood friends that gave me joy.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad, man. I mean, that speaks volume to the indoctrination of what I grew up in and stuff like that. Because you shouldn't be isolating yourself. And I do the freaking habit too. So like, God forbid, and it's not gonna happen, but God forbid, right? Like you said something to me, like that really pissed me off. Like you like found a button that I hide from most people, but you actually uncovered it and you push it. I probably wouldn't talk to you ever again. I would implement the sword of silence,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd be like, all right, fuck Shelby. Like, who's next? Who wants to come into my life? You know, oh, you want to fuck with me too? All right, I won't talk to you. And is it passive aggressive? No, it's not passive aggressive. It's me. It's Barnaby. You know, like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So, man, that we're not even there, dude. Like, we just went into this whole thing, but like, we're not even. Oh my gosh. Like, oh man, like it sucks, but like I guess the biggest thing I want, again, to reiterate, um is please be fucking careful what establishment you associate with. You want to watch for people's character. You don't want to hear their character. And that's my advice. My mouth is so this podcasting thing, it's new for me, and
Mm-hmm.
I've always wanted to do it, but I didn't know how, right? And I think, you and I, divinely being established through our good friend Ed, uh, that guy is fucking crazy. I love that guy. But I didn't realize that my mouth would go dry. So please, like, this is a good learning lesson. Like, when you do podcasts,
Get some water.
get some water or get some whiskey. I don't know. Let's get some Crown. Yeah, man. So I mean, I don't know how to transition from here. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, it's totally up to you. Like, I know some of the other stuff we talked about was like some of the hospitalization stuff and things like that. But I mean, we're at an hour and 40 now, so I don't know. Maybe we even just cut this one here and then start on that stuff on another one, because I feel like if we get into something else, it'll be another at least an hour or so. Unless there's something quick that you have that you want to touch on from what we've been going over.
Let's see. I guess like, to give the context for our viewers
Mm-hmm.
of the school I went to. So I got a picture. Good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Okay. This is Robert W. Carbone School. This is my first school that I attended as a child. It is located 67 Hutchins Street, East Haven. I had so many good memories of the school. I met so many unique and great people. The teachers there are amazing and taught well. I remember our principal always telling us a few words of wisdom. Yeah, Principal Pascal Perillo, as he would call it in the morning. It was encouraging, and I'm so glad that he did that, even though most students didn't like it. This guy would go over the intercom and be like, ding! And he was like, few words of wisdom. And he would broadcast hope to us and
Mm-hmm.
foster hope. I mean, dude, I had the most sophisticated school out there. I mean, the top fucking notch in a public school. And, we had some really great people teaching us and really being our angels and advocates
Mm-hmm.
and our guardians, And I have to say, man, aside from the cult, my fucking childhood was amazing, and I met the most awesome people. I mean, dude, like my family were and other families were obsessed with the Super NES, and like we would role play with Mario and Luigi. So my friend Eddie Reed and myself and my brother Caleb, you know, I would be Yoshi, so I would be literally carrying my brother, and then he would be like Luigi, and then Eddie would be Mario because he was a fat fuck when he was a kid, and so you know, it's just like it's truly amazing, and I find it very profound that I was Yoshi, because I feel like in this life I've just carried people the entire time, you know, and here we go with the waterworks. Ah, man, I didn't want to cry, but yeah, man, I just felt like I always carried people's burdens, you know.
Mhm.
I just lived life with them, and uh, so yeah, man, fuck, this is gonna be like worth millions of dollars. God, uh, but dude, I'm done. I want people off my back. I'm done carrying them. You know, like I'm broken severely, and I'm done jerking off. All I want to do is, uh, all I want to do, Shelby, is practice this book. Okay, that's all I want to do, man. That's all I want to do. I just find the little kittens out there, and then we could just have a good time. You know, uh, I know I'm a perv, uh, but yeah, man, severely dysfunctional, and uh, I don't like crying in front of people, because it, like the problem with my tears and my cry is that it's not like it's it really is like yeah, like convulsing, like and it's like really deep, you know,
Mhm.
for no reason. No, I was watching a Rihanna video, one of her songs, and I'm like so, you know, when I cry, man, I really cry, and it's so relieving. But
Mhm.
I don't want to spook people, and I don't want to be like, oh. But I shouldn't say that, because I just said I don't give a fuck about people and want them off my back, right?
Mhm.
So I should be crying and letting it out. But oh man, yeah, I'm I'm done. I'm tapping out. This is really hard, actually, accessing all this information, and then
Mhm.
like actually being myself and saying it, because
Mhm.
my perception awareness would just be like, you know, like everyone would be like, you know, like, and no words. They would be like, let's not fuck with them. Let's just not, you
Mhm.
know, which is great, because that's my. I don't want people to fuck with me. I don't want, you know, your emails, and I don't want your messages. And if you do fucking message me, I'm gonna be pissed off. And I just don't want. I want to be silent. I want to live my uh cognito life. I just want to go incognito. You know.
Mhm.
Yeah, but that's it, man. I
No, that's
can't.
good. That's good.
I just I'll start crying again. I don't want to really cry right now. I'm
No,
not
that's
ready.
okay.
I gotta take a shit, and if I'm crying, and then I got shit coming out of me, and then I gotta take a piss too. So I don't want like the three areas just going, you know, it's be a massive reboot, you know, like like the craziest sensation ever. Like I've asked probably people out there, I'd be like, you ever shit, pissed, and deep cried all at once? This guy has, because of Shelby.
Oh man. Okay, well yeah, no, like that's no, this was awesome, and I'm excited to do another one. So yeah, let's just cut it here for today, and then we can just keep moving on another time.